time to check in and see how Light of Destruction is handling its reprint announcement. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Now remember, this morning we did get the announcement, at least on the European side of the game, that Light of Destruction is receiving a reprint. That is huge news here, which means Substitutes, Ghost Rare Honest, the Ultimate Rares. It's going to be an interesting thing to see how this set handles, an initial reprint for this. And it looks like here, Special Edition's still holding 200. That's fine. Judgment Dragons. This is actually pretty huge. Even the unlimited version of this thing actually has some decent value. You're looking at, an unlim first ed and unlim coming in about 140 actually. So you might think that this is a terrible reprint. How could Konami do that? I mean, that's a huge swing of the pendulum value that is that. Now, Ghost Rare Honest, getting another unlimited reprint. You do see you have a mod play up here for 66. Meanwhile, I think this just pumps up the first eds even more. You are definitely going to be looking at about 80 to 90 for probably what these Ghost Rare Honest are holding for, but that's actually kind of crazy to think about out here. Judgment Dragon and Honest both have so much insane value. You do see good old Lila, $64 for Unlim. Fossil Dyna getting another secret reprint out here, which is actually pretty huge. I mean, your last one sold for 60, and 56, so I can only imagine you'll probably still see these maintaining about the same level out here. And plus, with this being, the EU print for the time being until we hear otherwise, it's going to be genuinely kind of interesting. I also want to know, are they going to update the frames and everything as well for this Solar Recharge? I mean, Solar Recharge had a $50 price point on this thing. Look at this, late price $56 all across the board for this. Like, that's actually kind of insane to think about out here. Aaron's still up there too. And then, of course, the biggest card I think anybody is kind of looking forward to getting out of this set is actually Substitute. And this is why I said, you better sell these now, because there will be more of these trickling into the market, whether or not, you think it's going to be acceptable or not. And your lowest light play is 24, but, I mean, we both know that, most of these you're going to be looking at are going to be 25 plus all day long. It's kind of crazy, because it's almost worth it to want to track down the reprint boxes of this and try to buy them at, the $60, $70, $80 price point just to see what you can do. I mean, individual booster packs here are $25 for one, and that's it. And that's for the unlim. Like, that's crazy. And then, do remember Fog King had a reprint, was in here. You do see the Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem was also in here, and same thing with Zawaldo. This set is genuinely stacked for the highest rarity cards that you're going to want to expect. But we have a few questions. We don't know ratios. I don't remember what pull rates were for those old packs. Could be one Ultimate per box. If that's the case, well, obviously that's not going to be too super worth it. And was it 1 to 2 secrets back in that era? So whatever, they plan to do with the reprint for this, I think it's a good thing that they're doing something like this, in my personal opinion. I'm definitely looking forward to this set, which is actually a lot more than I remember people being, oh man, you can get a Phantom Dragon reprint. Yeah, this set has a lot of bad with the good. Alright, well, that's Legacy of Destruction, Light of Destruction, and how it's holding itself up. Oh, hi Dark Destroyer. So, for some reason, I don't know why people are kind of just now figuring this out, but there's been a lot of talk for Cosmo stuff. Those most recent exclusives that we got out here, all those psychic power-ups that didn't really reference Cosmo cards, but, they're intended to be Cosmo power-ups. I don't think a lot of people have been like, well, more Cosmo support's coming. Well, I don't know the intricacies of copyright law, but I don't think you're going to mess with the House of Mouse when it comes to this sort of stuff. But, for what we're working with here, Dark Destroyer's still on the up and up here. Farm Girls, well, I mean, you have a market price at $5. Definitely is not the case here. We are not in Kansas anymore, Duelist. You are at $7, heading on up to $8 all day long for this. And then, of course, the very ugly gold rares coming in market price, same thing, $4. Dark Planets coming in at 6s, Dark Ladies coming in at 3s. I do believe a lot of this is anticipation for future supports, and we're just genuinely at the point with this older stuff that people just want to collect this stuff. You know what I mean? So that's actually kind of cool to see. Psychic Processor also follows it up here. You are looking at $20 right now for this. I did say at the very beginning that this is one of those cards. I mean, you bring out Jinzo and Spellcancellor with this. It's really cool. You know, yeah, sure they have to be from the hand, but like I'm all about this. Like, I think this card is really cool in design. All right, it's not cool and competitive are very different things at this point in time, but you do have value to be had back here, and you know, we'll wait and see. Maybe Konami's going to drop more psychic support on us. I mean, who really knows? Fossil Dig Collector's Rares. These are really $20 now. Thank you. The purple berries are still $20. I love the fact that the quarter centuries are 8s, though. You know, like, the purple berries are worth more than the quarter centuries. That's hilarious to me. Meanwhile, you know, the green berries coming in about 3s, the red berries coming in about the same thing here. Blueberries coming in about 4s. You've got, and also, I mean, you just got the secret reprint for this. It all comes down to your player preference. Like, if you bought collector's rares at the very beginning, you know, when they were super high and hyped, and you're like, oh, you know, like, I want to add these to my collection, and you didn't want to budge and, you know, downgrade or upgrade to whatever version you feel is acceptable, I think that's okay. You've got decisions to make in that regard. I don't see an issue with player preference or rarity. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, 200, 185, 209, on up to 300. You know, I do agree with a lot of what I've been reading about this card. This card is very much a candidate for rarity collection, too. Like, when you look at this just checks all of the marks for things that Konami would want to do. You know, you want to reprint a higher rarity card to the masses, have it be readily available, and it is a collector's item. I mean, it's literally a fusion of Joey and Yugi creating one of the most powerful cards that the game has ever actually seen. And I think you want to emphasize, you know, the creation of something like this for the game, honestly. DR1, the Reaper of Nightmare. Mod play sold for 13, another for 8, and for 15. And you get on down here and you're like, wow, you know, $89.99, $99.99, $325. You know, maybe I'm not the most biggest expert in this, but these niche sets that you see these really weird values on, and people get upset when they look at this. I mean, there are alternatives to this. This isn't just a one and done thing. Like, there are other prints available for this. It's not a big deal. Lighting Darkness Dragon. Wow, fire up those retro pack, lads. 165 for Mod Player Reno. Wow, that's terrible. How the Mighty have fallen. You're still looking at like 250 on up to 300 for decent quality on lads. Meanwhile, Ultra Lads, or Secrets, these are like $70 still for Secrets. Like, somebody just bought some for $89. Yeah, wow, those are expensive. Meanwhile, Ultra Lads coming in about 16 bucks, the way it looks. You get a lot of mod plays in the $10 section. Yeah, it does look like you're heading on up to plus 20 at that point. I'm not really all that surprised, though. Like, Light Darkness Dragon's just one of those cards that we multiple formats. It comes through, it does its thing every once in a while. And, like I said, it's one of the coolest cards in the game's history. Ultimate MST. What's going on with you, buddy? 26 listings? 126. Somebody bought 6. Well, I mean, you can get all of your foreign listings you could ever want across the board here, which is actually pretty acceptable. I don't see anything out of the norm really too crazily here. And, of course, Cowboy also with 25 listings right now. You know, these old Ultimate Rares and their ties into some of the older formats, I'm not really surprised to see, you know, just a huge emphasis swing on these things. And also, Synchrozone. This is getting a little bit low on listings. We're at 59 listings right now. I don't really like that all that much, but you do see a little bit of an uptick on the penny stock market. Interesting. So what do you guys think about today's market? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Peace out. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.